Having connection issues today, but I don't normally stream from this village, so not sure what the internet coverage is like. Please let me know. Let's flip you around. So this is a little rural village called Verenikovskaya, and hopefully we can show you the good, the bad and the ugly. The wife and our friend have got a list of places they want to go. Quite like that house. Look at the decoration on the outside of it. Looks like mosaic from here. Yeah, it is. Lots and lots of tiny little bits of tile. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so they've got a list of places they want to go and we'll have a wander around. And I'm going to be following along like a little puppy dog. And I'm sure, as any man will know, when a woman is in charge of directions, probably going to be walking up and down the same road several times. Sorry, ladies, but you're not known for your sense of direction. You're known for many things. Some of them far better than men. But sense of direction ain't one of them. Sorry. Oh. Let's get that stone out of my shoe before it drives me mad. And you can look at the grass while I do it. There we go. Right. Let's get round. Let's have a wander. Somebody's chose to write street in a graffiti style. Definitely should have signal here, shouldn't I? Lots of old trucks in there. I don't know if it's a scrapyard or just old trucks left. Russians tend not to throw a lot of stuff away, so you see a lot of stuff that's kept. Ooh. A big piece of land in there, behind that fence, and an old derelict house. That'd be nice for buying and converting. In there, look. The only problem is you've got that big old telephone aerial at the bottom of the garden. Depends if you believe that it fries your brain or not, I guess. Anyway, welcome. First stream was a disaster. Connection was awful. I'm hoping this one's better. It just goes like that sometimes. You turn it on and it just keeps dropping out. Maybe they didn't like my cover photo. Don't know. Anyway, as I said, this is a small village in southern Russia called Verenikovskaya. It's about 40 kilometres outside of Anapa, so just inland a little bit. Oh, that's a new one. As I always say, it's what I like about Russia. The old and the new literally parked next to each other. Look at that. Double garage. Ooh. A big old chimney on the side. and garden cook area by the looks of it. And opposite, very, very old. And some little ankle biters having a yap. Oh dear. It's one of the things, if you want rural life, it's one of the things you might have to put up with. And you usually find that dogs are sort of grouped. If you've got one dog, you'll have 6 or 7 people that all have dogs. And they all set each other off. There you go, there's another load. But look at that stuff. It's almost like, it's like people getting competition. Let's all have a dog. You've got a barking dog, we'll have one. Can't see the point myself. Goes back a long way, I think. People were worried about security, so I had dogs in gardens, and obviously that's not the world that we live in now, but I think people still hold on to that. And quite often in the rural setting, you'll find dogs in gardens. Sometimes they've just got free run of the garden, sometimes they're chained in the garden. It's a cultural thing. I don't like it. Personally, I think animals, if you're going to have an animal, you should treat it nicely. And I don't think chaining it up in a garden for its entire life is treating it nicely. But that's a cultural thing. You know, ultimately, is the dog healthy? Yeah. Mentally? Maybe not. But they're all fed and they're watered, so, you know, countries are different. They've got a better life here than they have in some other countries, haven't they? They're not being eaten for a start. So, anyhow, as I said, today I'm out for a wander. I have no idea where I'm going. That's a nice house. Big house. No idea where I'm going. Out with a wife and our friend. And, yeah. They're following a sat-nav on a phone. So I'm already worried. Flim guy, welcome. What's a proper British chap doing in rural Russia? Well, kind of always say living my best life, but that's not very descriptive if you're new to the channel. So, yeah, I came to Russia on holiday and fell in love with the country, fell in love with the people. And I was talking with friends last night, and I said, when you first come to Russia, your first thing as a Brit is weather. That's the first thing we focus on. The weather's lovely. And then it's food and some other bits. But once you've been here for a long time, you realise that those things are, whilst important, they're not really the reason that you're here. The reason that you're here is the people. And the way they treat you. And the way that the culture is, and yeah, and the attitude of people towards other people, and the level of respect, and all of the things that go with that. So, in answer to the question, I'm just, like I say, I came here, fell in love with the country for every reason. And again, people say, oh, well, what's the reason, what's better? And now I understand that it's easier to quantify that question by saying what's worse. And for me, well, you can say, I suppose, the roads. We don't have these sort of unmade roads in the UK, so you could focus on that. But that, I'll be honest, doesn't bother me. That was something I noticed when I first came here, but I don't worry about it now. To be honest, it's quite a good thing, because if you've got kids playing out, cars aren't bombing down here at 40 and 50 mile an hour. So it's not a bad thing. There's one in mid-progress. Little My Linky. Little house, My Linky Dom. And the other thing is the price of cars. That's it. That's for me, that's it. Things like gas pipes above the ground. Again, it's something you notice when you first come here, but, you know, much like moving next to a railway in the UK, as my parents did when I was young. After 4 weeks, I didn't know that there was a railway there. I didn't notice it. And, you know, people say, oh, railway, and you, how do you sleep at night? And you go, railway? Oh, yeah. Your brain blocks it out. So it's the same sort of thing with the silly stuff. But as regards gas pipes, quite like the bill, or lack of. So I don't mind them having gas pipes above ground. And I'll show you what I mean just down here. Have you been harassed by any authorities for having a British passport? No. An American bloke who also does vlogs got in prison for a few days. Yeah. Well, my question there is, wonder which one, because there are a few that come here solely to generate clicks and get themselves deliberately into a situation, and I haven't got any time for those people. They're scumbags, absolute scumbags, and they deserve everything they get. I don't know any genuine person that's come here and has been put in prison. So again, bullshit, and that's why I don't like these people, because they portray the country in a certain light, and it's not true, it's manipulation. So yeah, I won't mention them, I won't give them air credit, but I'm aware of some, and I also am aware of the background stories. So yeah. Showcat Ali, hello. Yeah, Gazprom is keeping the gas bills very low. We just had Gazprom round actually. They do a yearly check on your house. They come round and they just check everything gas related. So they do pressure tests, they do leak test, and they sign it all off. And that's compulsory, you don't have any choice. They come and do it. You pay for it. And again, compulsory, don't have any choice. But it costs 3,500 rubles, about £30, for them to come round and just test everything, sign it all off for another year. Don't mind that. Our gas bill last month was about £1 for gas. Yeah. So don't mind the ugliness of the gas pipes. I actually like it. Got used to it now. When I first saw it, I was like, what the hell's that? These yellow pipes. But as Russia is developing the newer properties, the newer developments, the gas pipes are underground, so they're not above ground anymore on the newer stuff. But on the older stuff, it's all above ground, and the main feeds to the villages are above ground like this, as you can see. But it's so easy to work on. You haven't got to worry about digging the road up and closing roads. For example, this is obviously going to be a building plot. House will be going in here, and when they want gas, they'll shut the valve. They'll shut the valve at the other end. They'll purge it, and then they'll just cut the pipe and just supply gas to the house. And it'll take them an hour, and they won't be digging the road up to do it. So yeah, I don't mind that. Nobody's supply's interrupted, or if it is, it's only for a very short time. Dead easy to maintain. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for it. Although, yeah, like I say, when I first came here, I was like, oh my God, what's that? And a lot of people are, when they see me stream, they're like, oh my God. But, you know, what would you rather have? If you want the road outside your property to look pristine, then pay £200 or £300 a month for gas. But if it's not bothering you, and you can put a tree in front of it or something, or like I say, you're just an adult and it doesn't bother you. I mean, for example, once a fence is put down there, proper fence, you won't see that pipe, so it's irrelevant. But when you get gas bills of 90 pence or £1 for a month, don't really matter, does it? More important things to worry about. So I'm just stood here at the moment, waiting for women to map read. You know, I should know it was a recipe for disaster, shouldn't I? Let's face it. We all know what that's like, guys. When we're out for a day, we're driving, doing the thing that all drivers do, which is concentrate. We just asked the wife, is it left or right up here? And you get, probably, not a lot of use, is it? Could you be more specific, maybe? Yeah, sure, it should be one of those. Great. So that's women and map reading. Unfortunately, we've progressed now to 2 women sat nav on mobile phone reading. So I'm worried. But this is obviously the start of a project. You can see they've started on the front wall, stripped the house back. So that will probably be clad at some point. Look a bit like the house next door. And you've got a brand new one next door, and this one obviously about to be underway. And then a cleared plot, so I'm guessing that's been sold, and that will start to be built on. And there is building everywhere in Russia. Everywhere we go, there's some building going on. Ah, so gas pipe. Don't want to keep banging on, but in that garden, then goes under the ground, under the road, and up the other side. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out is because that's unusual. Normally, they go up and over the road. So it's unusual to see it just go under the ground, just to go under the road. That's interesting. But as I always say, one of the reasons that I love it here is the eclectic nature of the place. You've got that in mid-progress. Same with that. It's a build in progress with the makeshift ladder. They do love to make a ladder out here. Very rare that somebody will actually buy a ladder, they'll just make one. And then you've got, you know, a fairly new build next door. It's quite sizable. Looks like a banya, yeah. Love a sauna out here. Most people have a banya or a sauna. Part of the culture, going to the banya. If you're not a sauna person, and you don't really get it, if you're from the UK, that'll be you. Don't really get it. Just like I didn't. Once you've done it a few times, yeah, it's a bit like having a swimming pool. When you've not had one, you can't see the point. But once you've had one, and there's lots of things like that, isn't there? Heated seats in your car for the winter. But yeah, once you've had it, kind of wonder how you did without it. And that's definitely true of having a sauna. So it's not a luxury anymore for us, it's a necessity. Because we use it a lot. Some chippers. Lawnmowers, rotavators, cement mixers. Oh, skid steer, look at that, for sale. I could do some damage with that. Oh yeah. I could teach myself to drive that in the garden and smash it to bits. The garden, that is. I'll ask the wife, see if she'll let me have it. I know the answer already, don't I? Clothes and shoes of all descriptions. And this is something that you'll see a lot of, is hardware, what I would call hardware stores and builders merchants. But certainly hardware shops in every village, everywhere we've been. Our village has got numerous hardware where you can buy anything from a ladder to a new motor for your grinder. So very, very, very common, like it used to be in England really, and then they did away with it all when the big supermarkets came along. Told you that you didn't need these little shops, so they all disappeared because they went out of business. And now when you need a part for your tool, what do? Yeah, you throw it away and go and buy a new one because they haven't got any parts. But out here Russians don't just throw stuff away because it's got a broken part. It'll get repaired. Oh, plums maybe, cherries, as you can see just at the side of the road. Again, this region where we are, they grow like weeds. Cherries, plums, peaches, apricots, walnuts in the season. And yeah, look, just at the side of the road, look. So, as I say, in our village, you can literally eat yourself to the centre of the village. Walk along eating the fresh fruit when it's ripened. But we're at the start of the season now, so got a ways to go. But we've already got plums and cherries and peaches, apricots in our garden. And here's another one, look. And like I say, they just grow like weeds. And same with grapes. Everybody has grapevine. There you go, case in point. So, very common is to have a carport and then grapevines growing on your carport. Again, just because they grow like weeds. So a lot of people make their own wine. Another cherry tree. And another cherry tree. You see what I mean? Just grow for fun. Viano. Right, let's say hello. I'm waffling along about cherries. Right. Andrea, hi. Just popping in to say hello. Getting a lick on, he is. Obviously late. Vihan Atreya, hello. Off to the dentist, enjoy. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. Yuck. The dentist. No thanks. I know it's a necessary evil, but that's what it is. It's a necessary evil. That just wants thrown in the bin, doesn't it, really? Well, I'm sure they'll keep that going for another 20 years out here at least. He was just being quite naive by putting a camera on people and buildings on a city in the Far East. He is called, oh yeah, I've got no time for that bloke, and that's exactly one of the people I was talking about. It was all staged, it was all bullshit. I know the backstory to that. He put out that he'd been arrested initially for using the word invasion in one of his titles. So yeah, completely fake. I have no time for that man at all. I think he's a scumbag. Never met him, never spoke to him, never intend to. So, yeah. Don't believe everything you see. Case in point, I did a little poll on my channel a couple of days ago about the recent viral video concerning the, what should we call it? The snow train. Do you know what I mean? With the marching powder and the alleged country leaders on it. And I posted that poll fairly soon after the initial video had been released. You know, is it bullshit? Do you believe it, kind of thing? And the majority of people believed that video to be true. And that's the thing. You can have a video, put a narrative against it, and most people will believe it, because that's how we absorb information. That's what we're used to. So people are very, very, very easy to manipulate and control just by posting a narrative on top of a video. And nobody really steps back and goes, hang on a minute. Is that true? Does that sound true? Has that got a ring of truth to it? But, yeah. I think all Eastern European rural villages look the same, just at different stages of wealth. Polish rural villages have a lot of newly built property and fencing, and here there's still old wooden houses. Yeah, Flame Guy, you are without a doubt right, and it's surprising the variation in what we see when we walk around. And there's a huge variation. You know, we can see beautifully kept, very, very old Soviet buildings like that. You can just see, you know, it's freshly painted and just maintained. And then you'll get another one like that that's literally falling apart and you wouldn't think anyone's in it. And then you'll get it next to a new one like this. And everything in between. It's completely normal. And that's what I like. Every time you go out for a walk, there's something different. Pedro Bustamante Torre said hi, did he? True developing country. Yeah, I mean, the opportunity in this country is vast. Really is. There is a massive opportunity. Really is. One for sale there. Tucked in under the trees and the gas pipe. People from, I didn't say they didn't know what a sauna was. See, that's the trouble. People half listen. So, just to correct you, people from the UK know what a sauna is, you daft bastard. I never said they didn't. It's just not something we're used to. Not many people in the UK have a sauna. I do know some, but very, very few. It is not a common item. That was the point I was making. Whereas out here, everybody has one. You can always smell wood being burnt and in a building in the garden somewhere. Very, very common. It's part of the culture. So that was the point I was making. Meat. How about how about the marching powder? Yeah. Unforeseen. Yeah, righto. Did they now? Well, I think you'll find that is actually a very incorrect statement from a legal standpoint. You should read the United Nations Charter. rather than listening to the media, because the media will have you believe that. Unprovoked and unlawful, neither of which is true. But unfortunately, uneducated fools like yourself just repeat the narrative. Don't actually do any research to find out whether it's factually correct. No, that's too uncomfortable. It doesn't fit in with what I want to believe in my little shielded world. Look, playground, look. That is old. This is like B Road Russia. Sam, you need to come down here. I'll take you out wandering. Oh, look at him. He's pretty. What's that, a jay? Not good on me birds. Look like a jay. Furby Slayer, thank you. What should we do with Unforeseen? As he's a moron, I think this stream and this channel is probably a little bit intellectual for him, so let's get rid of him because he's a goon. And I can't be bothered to try and educate a goon. Right. Furby, I love your terminologies. Brilliant. Bill. Goog. Love it. Good afternoon, Chris. Hope you're doing well there. Yes, I am, sir. Living the best life. Look at this. Sam is pulling his hair out at the moment. Look. B Road Russia. If you don't know what B Road Russia is, it's Sam's channel. So Sam from Russian Adventures has a second channel called B Road Russia. And he would love this. He'd be in there like a ferret in a rabbit hole. You rock lizard. If you don't vote for the right guy, you get thrown in prison for life. Oh, dog, I don't. Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. So you got your K in the wrong place, haven't you? So it shouldn't say you rock lizard, it should be you crow lizard. So even your spelling's fucking wrong. What a cabbage. Dear, dear. It amazes me that people believe all of this crap. Well, it does and it doesn't, because obviously there are people that are intelligent. There are people that, you know, do believe the stuff to start with because they don't have any other source of information. But then it starts to just sound a little bit ridiculous. So they go and check and then find out that what they're told is reality is actually a load of BS, and they wake up. Some people just are already awake and they question everything, and they always want to know about the source and where the information is coming from, especially if they're basing life choices on it. And then there are people like you rock lizard, who has a lizard's brain that just laps up everything that the media throws at him. It must be true, saw it on the telly. Oh dear. Anyhow, more land cleared for development, I'm guessing. Richard Pedley said hi. Hi, Richard. How's the weather? Oh, it's cloudy today, but I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. So, yeah, it is warming up. It's about 20 degrees today. And the wife has got a list of places she wants to visit whilst we're in this village. Little properties, I think, for sale, and just, you know, just having a nose. And unfortunately, I am in the clutches of their directions, which means that you'll probably see this road half a dozen times. You'll definitely see this Neva again, because he likes to drive fast, this nutter. Slow down, you spastic. Ah, woman, see? Meow. Meep, meep. Feels like, do you know what? It feels like rain. The air has just turned a little bit colder. I think it's going to rain. What do you reckon? Yeah, I'm going with rain. That will be unfortunate because I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Oh well. As my dad used to say, it's only water, son. Doesn't really matter, does it? True, it's only water. Unless it's acid rain, of course. Ooh. Be unfortunate. Anyhow, yes, so at the moment, Verby, I'm not wet. I'm not holding my breath. Ooh. Lindy wee Lindy. You from Scotland? Mims I said hi. Lindy wee Lindy said hi. You can do that now, can't you? You can just tap the screen and you don't even have to type anymore. How sad. Oh, I've just got a spot of rain on my head. That's not good. It's got a bit of a lean on, hasn't it? Hey, puss. Meow. Meow. Yeah, you're safe. I'm a cat fan. Meow. Hello. Hello, sweetie. Oh. Generally, cats and dogs live together out here harmoniously. It's quite bizarre. Ooh. Now that is a carport. Look at that. Holy smoke. Wow. Wow. That's a nice looking property actually. I'm not struck on the carport. Not sure I'd want it that big. But we're all different. But the house looks lovely. It's a nice width. The gates are opening, so better not be standing there filming their house. They might think, what the hell are you doing? But that is a nice property. Nice blocks out the front. Yeah, and again, as I keep saying, that's what you find. You'll find, you know, something that's 100 years old next door to something that's brand new. Like that. Gorgeous. Like the house. Got a nice banyan in the back garden by the looks of it. Neighbour with a noisy dog. Your cat don't mind the doggies. Don't bother him. Her. Cot. Koshka. I don't know. There's too many cots and koshkas and koshkis and too many names for a cat. Oh, matte black BM, that's quite nice. That's the one that's just came out of that nice new house. Ladies, just so you know, it's raining. Just thought I'd give you an update based on the fact that it's raining. And I might be sitting under a tree somewhere. Oh, we're sitting here now. Oh. Oh, I have to suffer for my art. Anyhow. Bill, have you found a new house yet? Well, yes, we have, but we haven't sold ours. So that's kind of up in the air now. But as I said to the wife, it's not like we're slumming it. You know, it's not like we're living in rented accommodation or, you know, a rundown flat or something. We've got quite a nice lifestyle. So if we don't sell the house, and we don't move yet. It's not we won't be moving, it's just we won't be moving yet, that's all. And yeah, it just means that we'll be enjoying the swimming pool this summer and the sauna and the terraces and paying cheap gas and electric. Furby cat magnet, yes, I know, don't. Luckily, that one, unfortunately, I don't want to say it, but that particular cat has lost the cuteness factor and the wife hasn't zoomed in on it. Had it been half the size that it is and had a little meow, meow sort of squeak, I'd be in trouble. So if you're new to the channel, we have 5 cats. We brought one from the UK, a Bengal. The intention was to have 1 cat, which is why we brought one. And then, I don't know how, somehow I don't even know if I was talked into it. I think it just happened. I ended up with another cat. And that's little Rios, our black cat, who was very small. I got sold a sob story. I was scammed again by my wife. I got sold a sob story that there was some kittens and mum hadn't come home and they were 2 weeks old and they were all on their own. And that was Rios. So he had no mummy. So I had to feed him with a syringe every 2 hours because he literally fitted in my hand. He was tiny. So now he follows me around like a doggy. She's lovely. Super cute cat. And then I don't know, it was a bit of a blur. 2 tiny little kittens appeared in the garden. And I'm still not convinced that that was what really happened. I think I might have been scammed again. But allegedly, 2 little kittens just appeared in the garden. Nobody knew where they came from. None of the neighbours knew about them. And they were just there. Tiny little things, needing a home. And this is where I went wrong. I said, well, okay, but just until we find out who owns them. Well, guess who owned them? Us. So that was cats 3 and 4. And then cat 5 was another load of scamming. We went to the market. I was sat in the car, minding my own business, looking at YouTube probably. Wife comes back, a little bit sheepish, a little bit of a grin on her face. Immediately suspicions were raised. Hello, I'm about to get rogered here. What's happened? Whilst I was concentrating, it was a tag team event, this. Definitely worked in unison. So whilst I was concentrating on working out what the wife was up to, daughter jumped in the back seat with cat number 5. And all I got was, look at it though, it's so cute and it's on its own in the market and it's on its own and look at it, it's so cute and it's on its own and it's so cute and it's on its own. Yeah. So that was cat number 5. But as I say, that one back there, luckily, it's a bit too big. Hasn't got the cuteness factor anymore. Because if it had, I'm sure the wife would be trying to scoop it up and shove it in her handbag. But luckily today, she's got a small handbag with her. So I might be right. I should just point out that the rain isn't really rain. It's like... Are we going? 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 Duh. Yeah. You've got a hat on. Right. Anyhow. Let's get a wandering and we'll wander past that nice house I was just showing you and then can give you a better view. I didn't want to be standing outside filming it whilst the guy's driving out. A, it would just be weird, and B, you might think, I don't know, he might have been quite happy I was filming his house, don't know. Anyhow, let's get you flipped round. So not a carport, although the carport is there, but a frame and grapes. Normally, like I say, that would be grown on for the carport. That seems to be the standard thing. But they've actually built a separate frame on that house. Now the wife loves this purple stuff. It's quite pretty. It's quite prolific down here as well. She likes that. Another big carport. But it ain't like that one. That is a nice house. I do like that. I like it because it's wide. I don't like these narrow houses. And it looks like it's got a decent sized back garden. Oh, I don't want to be too nosy. I don't like poking cameras over fences. Yeah, that's nice. Nice property, that. But, like I say, carport for me is a little bit overkill. But we're all different. We're all different. We all like different things. If we didn't, life would be very boring and we'd all live in Lego. Ooh, lots of flowers up here. I'm sure the ladies will see them and make a beeline for them. Brandon Hope. Yeah, right. Koshka. Yeah. Thank you, Elena. Elena? Sorry. My Russian pronunciation is appalling, as you know. To refurbish that, the wife's menagerie. No, I was just scammed, wasn't I? The two of them ganged up on me. Got our daughter acting all cute, like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. The wife running defence, misdirection, and me not having my eye on the ball. Result, 5 cats. Now I'm more clued up to it. Look at that. You can tell that transformer has been there a while, hasn't it? Now in the UK there'd be some rule or regulation that would say can't have that for a million reasons. Here what we have is something that we used to have in the UK but it's gone. And it's this very technical, it's difficult to describe really, especially now that most people don't understand the meaning of it. But what we have here is this thing called common sense. And common sense tells adults, danger close. Don't go touching any of that stuff, because you'll go up in a little puff of smoke. And the result of that is they tend to teach the kids the same thing. Now, there's always an exception to a rule where some yo-yo will probably decide it's a good idea to grab hold of some of that. But he ain't with us anymore if he did. And that is what is known as the Darwin theory, which again is heavily subscribed to here in Russia. There is no what I call cotton wool laws, which they call in the UK there to protect the innocent, or as we know it, there to protect the stupid idiots. So we don't have that. So if you're dumb, just I'll clean you, give you a little clean. So if you're dumb and you do stupid shit, there is a consequence. And that particular consequence would be zzz, poof. Anyhow. CNF PSL. Is this Russia? Yeah, it sure is. It is 40 kilometres outside a coastal resort town called Anapa on the Black Sea. And this is a village called Varenikovskaya. If you look on Google Maps at ANAPA, Anapa, not Anapa. Some people get them confused. You'll see where we are. About 50, 60 miles from Crimea. But like I say, we're about 40 kilometres inland at the moment. Just having a wander about, doing a bit of Sam's Russian Adventures B Road Russia. Well, that is an old garage. I would have had a very small old car. And a nice modern one next to it. Look at that. Are you a gym coach? Oh, I've no idea where you're going with that question. Love the grapevine thing. You just passed by. Yeah, it's everywhere, so I tend not to focus on it too much because it's very common. Very common. So I tend not to zoom in on it. Newish build. Well, they do school out here in shifts. So I think they do something like 7 to 1 or 2, and then they do something like 10 to 5. And I think they're even, as the kids get older, I think there's even a later class at like 2 till 7 or something. So it's not just a normal 9 to 3 job. No idea where I am. That's not unusual. There you go, look, more grapes growing over a frame out the front. Sort of serves two purposes, gives a bit of shade for the car, and obviously it's a good place to grow your grapes. Yeah, don't think I'll bother quantifying them 2 comments. Anyhow, onwards. Lovely old gates, look. Drive wants a bit of work though. Oh, more noisy doggies. Bit of mosaic on the fence, look over there. Made up with some tiles. It's a good size house. Chickens. I can hear chickens. Look good on a plate with some chips. Yeah, you'll be getting it straight away. So, that's the thing you have to bear in mind with rural life. If you want to move to a rural Russian village, by nature, it's going to be people keeping chickens and ducks and dogs in the garden, etc, etc. So be aware of that. But if you want to live the simple life, grow stuff, grow a few chickens, as long as you don't mind peeling them, then yeah, rural Russia is lovely. There's nothing that's the same. There's no 2 houses that are the same. And what's happening now, as obviously the houses are getting older and Russia is developing its economy more and more, is the older properties like these are either being bought up or they're being handed down and then redeveloped, because the cost to build in a village is very small in comparison. So, you know, this older stuff just gets bought up and developed, and that's why you see brand new houses next to the old ones. It's one of the reasons anyway. Another reason is that people retire to the area from working in the north, and they'll retire to the south for the warm weather. Look at the blue sky over there. Not here though, is it? Still raining. Lovely trees. Wife, what are these trees called? What's these trees? That's the stuff you like, isn't it? That purple stuff. Wisteria, that's it. That's what I was trying to remember. Wisteria. Loads of it. But yeah, our region, as I say, coast of the Black Sea, we're in the Krasnodarsky Krai region. It's an agricultural region and a wine region. So, as I said, lots of vineyards, lots of vines growing over carports, but also lots of big wine manufacturers in the region. Done a few videos from several, but that's the tip of the iceberg. There are loads, and that results in cheap wine. By cheap, I mean in price, not quality, because it's lovely. Apparently, get that in quick. So I've been told. Wouldn't know myself, never touched the stuff. Yeah, right. There's a big old house in there. Okay, looks like Slovakia. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you've got to remember that they were all one big happy family at one time. So you're going to see a lot of similarities. Dear oh dear. WD. Let's see if we can decipher the hieroglyphics. Suriorized, you haven't, no apostrophe. Burn, arrested yet. So burn would be Bern, which is what you call a little one in Scotland. Suriorized, I'm going with you meant surprised. Yeah. And the reason I'm mocking your post is it kind of says a lot about you. One, the comment that you've made, and two, the level of intelligence that is behind the comment. Look at that. Now, I don't know what that word means. I don't know if that's for sale or for rent, but that is a lovely, lovely old bit of history. Doesn't matter whether you like it, you know, and think, oh, I wouldn't live in it, or you think it's really cute and quaint or whatever. It doesn't matter. All of that's irrelevant. You've got to look beyond that. That's history, and it's gorgeous on that level. Would I want to live in it? Probably not. I like my mod cons. I like my swimming pool and my bits and pieces. But I absolutely love the look and the style of the old Soviet era buildings. There we go, Soviet era. I've said it. Been bloody avoiding it, but I've succumbed. And I love the colours, you know, the bright colours and the pastel colours. Oh, a doggy in the garden. It's all right, mate. I'm not coming in to say hello. Just, yeah, I love this. And like I say, you know, if you're intellectually challenged, your first reaction will be, whoa, looks like a right shithole. Which is what you get from what I call the football crowd. Sorry if you're a football fan, but yeah. I'm offending a lot of people today. Oh well. It's your right to be offended. You're allowed. Anyhow, more wisteria. And, as is quite common, there's another one there that I've just noticed. Even there they've got a little bench, look. It's very common in rural Russia. Find benches outside. This one's even got a little makeshift table that's probably been there since God was a boy. And you'll find that people will sit outside. There's another one there, look. People will just sit outside and have a chat. People that walk past. And before anybody says, well, there ain't anybody, it is a working day here. And it was just raining. And I'm a Brit, so 20 degrees is summer. But for the locals, they'll probably look out the window and go, look at that idiot walking along in shorts and a t-shirt. Because they'll all be in coats and hats. Because they're used to the warm climate. And I am to a degree. But I've still got a bit of Brit in me. Which means the minute I get an opportunity to put shorts on, I'm seizing it. Hey dog, he looks very unhappy. Got a face on him. Urgh. But you ain't seen a dentist in a while, have you? Anyhow. Furby, you're rolling on the floor laughing. Cool. I must have said something funny at some point. I'm a clown. I'm an idiot. I'm very, very rarely serious. Very rarely. How much would that yellow house cost? Oh, shit. The one back there. Do you know, I've seen properties like that for sale for 2.5 million rubles. Up to 4, 5, 6 million. Depends on location, depends on road, it depends on whether it's got gas. There's so many things that affect the price of property out here if you're looking to buy. So many things. You've got sort of the high end, which will be a development from a developer with all amenities, tarmacked road, you know, gas, mains, water, all of that kind of thing. And then you'll get the other end of the scale, which will be a very, very basic plot with no mains water, so you'll have to have a well in the garden, no gas, and if you're lucky, electric. But here, definitely got gas, so there's the pipe, and definitely got electric. And yes, I haven't got a tarmac road, but like I say, don't pay any council tax here. So one of the things your council tax allegedly goes towards is payment of the roads. When that, you know, when that particular narrative suits. And then when everybody goes, oh, the roads, they go, well, the roads are paid by the road tax. When that particular narrative suits. So I don't really know what pays for the roads. Because then you've got the third one, which is local councils. They pay for the roads in the local area. You get all sorts of narratives. I don't really know which one's true. But anyhow, we don't pay council tax out here. So, yeah, whilst I haven't got a tarmac road, I ain't got a £200+ bill every month. Oh dear. They're both on phones again, looking for directions. Oh no, I'm in trouble. Sprig of Broom, arrested for what? Russia's better human rights track record than the countries in the West. Absolutely, you nailed that, sir. Proud of you to represent Britain in a good light. Thank you. 1 million rubles equals $10,000. Correct. So 20 to 30 grand, yeah. And like I say, you know, that price, if you're coming with Western money, or you know, if you're moving out of the city, if you're Russian and you're looking for a dacha home, or you know, something, a little bolt hole, you can buy these older rundown properties for really pennies, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And what is starting to happen more and more now is people are doing that and then they're flattening them, because it just gets too, doesn't get cost effective. It doesn't make sense to keep a lot of the old properties that are falling apart, keep them going, you know, especially the size of them. Some of them are like 20 square meters, you know, tiny little dwellings. So yeah, they will just flatten them and build a new house in its place. Oh, pigeon that sat up there on the wire. Blue sky coming. Blue sky is coming. Sprig of broom. Cost of electric in Russia, $6 a month. Yeah, our electricity bill is pretty high, but we're running a swimming pool, a 12 kilowatt electric sauna, air conditioning in every room. So yeah, our electricity bill's a lot. I think it was £30 last month. And like I say, you know, we're running a swimming pool and a sauna. We use a sauna most nights. So yeah, you have to expect a really, really high electricity bill like that. £30. I wonder what it costs in the UK. Susie Kjelskog. Hello, E. Okay. Hey, Raoul Cohen said hi. Do I feel safe there? Is there crime? Well, in the 2 years that I've been here, I haven't seen any. And by I haven't seen any, I mean, obviously, I'm sure there are news reports of something happening somewhere in Russia. Am I suggesting there's no crime in Russia? No, of course not. That would be a stupid comment. So I won't make that. But what I can tell you is I haven't seen it. Anything. I haven't seen a car with a smashed window. I haven't seen, you know, people having a punch up. I haven't seen anybody shoplifting. I've seen nothing. I haven't even seen road rage. So I can only speak on my experience. And that's my experience. So, yeah. And as for feeling safe, when I first came here, I came here with a Western attitude. Snow bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. So I thought everybody was a gangster. And I'd have to, you know, have my wits about me. Turns out that's a load of lies. So, no, in answer to your question, sensibly, do I feel safe here? Yeah, absolutely. Safest place I've ever been. And I've been right across Europe, all through European countries. And I've never felt so safe. I've never felt so welcomed by people. And I know that doesn't sit with a narrative, so I'm pretty sure the stream will get cut off in a minute because I've said something that's not good. But it's true. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. I'm not making up propaganda. I'm not, you know, this isn't an edited, carefully edited video with clips, etc. This is a live stream, turning the camera on, showing you what I walked past in a little rural village and giving you an honest answer, an opinion to a question. And that is what it is. It's my opinion. And opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. But that's it. That's my opinion. What, we're going that way now? Running? I ain't running anyway. You mad? Huh? Oh. I've no idea what that conversation was about. Anyhow, I was there. I was there when it happened. Just don't know what it meant. Anyway, that one I think's for sale. Prodam. It's just history. Another bench outside. Now, here's a bit of logic. So I like to do logic. If Russia is a society of evil people that hate the world and every other load of crap that you've been fed through the media, would things like benches outside houses be a common thing? What do you think they're there for? Are they there so that they can sit there and guard the property? Or are they just there so that, you know, on a summer's evening, they can sit outside? And that's the culture. Whether it's still commonplace to find people sitting, I mean, it's raining, so you ain't going to get anyone sitting there, but whether it's still commonplace, I don't know. Have I seen it? Yeah, plenty of times. Loads of times I've seen on the back roads people just sitting outside having a chat with a neighbour as they walk past. Does that sound like an evil society to you? Does that sound like society that you've been led to believe Russia is? That they're all evil people? It's not. 3 years ago they weren't evil. But you've all been demonised. Or, sorry, Russians have been demonised. Been made into some sort of false reality that fits the narrative, as I said earlier. Look at the Coke train. The narrative comes out that the tissue isn't a tissue, it's a little baggie, and the spoon isn't a spoon, it's a tooter, which is what you use to sniff the marching powder, apparently. And the reality is, when you see the whole video, as is often the case, it's not true at all. It's a tissue, it's a stirrer. But the narrative going against that video was a lot better, wasn't it? So that's what they do, and people believe it. Don't be a sheep. Look. Brings me back to my childhood. It's sort of things we used to do. Kids don't do that sort of stuff anymore, do they? They're too busy looking at their phones, like you lot at the moment. You should be out doing this, making a swing, swinging on it, falling off, grazing your knees, breaking the occasional bone. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to break the occasional bone. It teaches you what pain is and how to endure it. Now that is a posh bench, because it has got a cover. Look at that. Love that. It really depends on your perspective. If you come here and look around, it really depends if you come here with an open mind. Depends on your nature, it depends on what you know, if you want to come and visit the place for a week or two, and you've got a particular version of what Russia is based on what media has told you, you'll come here and go, oh, look at that, oh my God. But if you want to come here with an open mind and learn and accept and realise that these people are some of the warmest and friendliest people I've ever met, and you look at the old stuff, like the old houses, with an open mind, then you see it in a different light. And instead of looking at the fault and what's wrong, you look at the beauty and the history. And that's where I am. And trust me, I'm a perfectionist by nature. So by nature, I naturally only look for fault. That's all I do in anything. I don't see, if it's 98% perfect, I don't see that. I see the 2% that's not. And that's a horrible, horrible thing to live with. And I've learned to live with it. It's been hard. Served me well in my professional career. But equally, it's a curse. If you are a perfectionist, you know exactly what I mean. as a perfectionist, it's the opposite of what you might think. It's life is never right. Nothing is ever right. So you live in a world that's everything's wrong. But once you learn to live with it and embrace it, I should embrace my perfectionism. Look at that. Well, that is a carport. Some flags flying. It's just lovely to see all of this stuff. I love it. I really do. I mean, look at that. You've got a lovely new electric box, look, on the outside. And we've got typical guttering to run the water off for the roofs. Look, and down. That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, I love it. I absolutely love that. It's far, far, far more interesting to walk around streets like this than it ever was walking around my housing estate in the UK, where every house was the same. Every garden was a postage stamp. Here, everything's different. Everything. It's definitely raining now. Need tree. Don't know what Russian is for tree. So I'll do the bloke thing and point. But yeah, certainly Soviet era stuff, very colourful. Greens, blues, pinks, yellows, reds. Hello. Oi. Naughty. Pack it in, you. Pervert. Get out of it. Don't need to be making any more kittens. He's not happy now, is he? Disturbed his fun. Or she's not happy. One of them's not happy. Right. You feel safe. Right, Susie, where in Russia is this? So this is a little rural village called Veronikovskaya. It's about 40 kilometres inland from seaside resort town of Anapa, A-N-A-P-A, which is in the Krasnodarsky Krai region, about 50-60 miles from Crimea. $30 is peanuts. You're absolutely right, Co. What made me move? Just came here and fell in love. I came here, fell in love. I mean, with the country and the people. I was already in love with my wife. Met my wife in the UK. No intention of moving to Russia, as my regular subscribers know. We were looking to buy a house in the UK. But we came here on holiday, and I just fell in love with the country. In all aspects, you know, the food, the weather, the people. And that's probably the order I would have initially put it in, but it's now completely reversed. Now it's about the people, because the people are wonderful. I just love this country, and I love the attitude of the people, and the respect that they have, and the history, and it's just different level. But yeah, I didn't fall out of love with the UK. I love my country. I don't love the way it's being handled at the moment. I don't think anybody does. It's just a path of destruction with this absolute obsession. And it's just wrong. It's deeply wrong. And until the political class in the UK gets a major revision, I can't see it changing. And it's just a downward spiral, isn't it? Can anybody say that life is better for them now than it was 10 years ago? If you're honest. Anyhow, that's the reason. It wasn't to escape anything. It wasn't, because I got pushed here by my Russian wife. In fact, quite the opposite. It was me that said, let's come here. And she was like, honey, really? Are you sure? Yep. I was that sure. Really was that sure. So yeah, that's what made me move here, mate. Nugget Macca. Hope you've been well, my friend. Good to hear your voice again. Beautiful place for a walk. Thank you, Nugget. I have been well. Living my best life. Wake up with a smile on my face. Side of that, or I'll go to bed with a coat hanger in my mouth. I'm not entirely sure which, but the result's the same. But no, I've been very well, thanks for asking. Just enjoying life on a very, very laid back level. So yeah, I don't worry too much about the crap that I used to worry about in the West. Well, I don't worry about it at all. What am I on about? I don't even know what day of the week it is, ever. Oh, Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Might be Tuesday. Might be Wednesday, actually. And I am not joking. I'm not making it up. I literally have no idea. Honey, what day of the week is it? Is it Wednesday or Tuesday? Wife? She's deep in conversation. Wife? Wife? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Today?
Yeah. Eh? Got that wrong, didn't I? It's Thursday, apparently. I'm not convinced of that. Not sure she's got that right. Might be Wednesday. It's not Thursday, is it? Can't be Thursday. Where's that gone? Anyhow, there you go. It tells you the life I lead. Does it compare to towns outside London? Real people, no BS. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. 60s Britain. Yeah, no BS. You don't get that from Russians. They don't smile at you sweetly and shake your hand and then as soon as your back's turned, stab you in the back and slag you off. You know, if they're friendly to you or they're kind to you, it's because they mean it and they're genuine and sincere. There's no fake, none of this fake BS. None of this have a nice day. There's none of that. And equally, they don't really hold a grudge. You know, if you're an idiot, they'll tell you you're an idiot, and that's it. There's nothing more beyond it. It's just, you're being an idiot, so I'm telling you, you're being an idiot. Would you like a cup of tea? That's kind of how it goes. Nicoletta, Von C, how are you? Nice to see you in my Telegram group. Just waiting for the rain to stop before we go marching off somewhere else now. They're looking at a list and planning. Where are we going next, wife?
We're going down, but
We're going that way.
bad.
Wet, bad. Dah. T-shirt, shorts. Let's go. Stop raining. I'm off. It stopped raining. No rain. Gone. Hasn't. It's still raining. But we're standing under that tree now. I want to go and look at some other trees. Sprig of broom. I remember Russia smelt divine in the springtime in the 80s with trees in blossom. Unlike in the UK, it smells of nothing. It's still the same now in Russia. Yeah, I mean, we live in a very green area, so lots of smells. If I could smell them, I can't. I've got no sense of smell. Well, no real sense of smell. But what it does smell like in a Napa in summer is shashlik. Barbecue. Russian barbecue, shashlik. It's everywhere and the smell is amazing. You've got all this meat being cooked. Oh, vegetarians would hate it. But we all know vegetarian is an old Indian word for bad hunter. So, there we go. But yeah, I mean, it's just clean, fresh air. It's nice. It's lovely. Nice. Raining again. What are you doing to me, man? Looked at the weather forecast, didn't mention any of this wet stuff. Don't tell me, let me guess. Tree? Nah, tree. About here. It's a bit windy now as well. Cold and wet. Oh, dog. What's the tax like from Sinister? Which tax do you mean, mate? Do you mean property tax, land tax, car tax? What kind of tax are we talking about? It's raining now. Lots changed in 3 years, Bucko. Don't get it twisted. Dude, I've subscribed. We'll watch more of your stuff. Enjoy Russia. Thank you. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button. You can do that by double tapping the screen. You haven't even got to leave the stream. It does help. And please subscribe if you're not already. Again, the only way channels like mine survive is with people like you hitting the like button. Because the algorithm doesn't like us. So we don't get promoted. So unless you're even if you are a subscriber, you need to check your notifications, because YouTube has a bad habit of changing your settings. So you can have it set to all. What the hell are these? Yeah, you can have it set to all and then go back a month later and find out that it's on custom, and that means nothing. So check your subscriber settings, because I get it regularly where people will say, oh, I didn't know you were live streaming, I didn't get a notification. Funny that. Kirk's Crusty Kippers. Just got back from Tenerife last week. Stayed in Manchester. It was a late flight. Travelled back home through Leeds. Had about 6 volatile situations whilst minding my own business. You've done the right thing. That's crazy, mate. It's absolutely crazy. You know, road rage, let's be honest, in the UK it's just like part of life, isn't it? It's just normal. You know, I would see road rage. Wow, is it unfair to say every day? I'm not so sure. I don't think it is. I don't think that's a stretch. Every day, either on the way to work or on the way home from work. I haven't seen any since I've been here, and I'm not making this up, guys. I mean, none. Not once have I seen, you know, people jumping out of cars, you know, throwing hands at each other, you know, just nothing, just literally nothing, and it's bizarre. It's not now, it's lovely. But, you know, when you first come here, it's a bit like living in a bubble. You just sort of think, what, no crime? People are friendly. Nah, this can't be real. This can't be normal. Well, it is. So yeah, I don't miss that. Sprig of Broom, Russophobia, demonising Russia reminds me of how serial killers demonise victims before killing them. Someone really wants to justify destroying Russia to steal their land and resources. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. There's just one slight flaw with the plan. You'll never defeat these people. And the West needs to wake up to that. And really wake up to that. The trouble with the West is they've got nobody in politics now who's a diplomat. You've got nobody in politics now who understands other nations. There's nobody in politics that understands Russians. Nobody. So their view is based on intelligence reports. Yeah. And we all know how wrong that is. So they have no clue about these people, this country. And after living here for a while, I can tell you now, you'll never beat these people. Never. Their strength of character and their love for their country is profound. I'm not saying every single person, but far, far more than any other nation I've ever been to. Oh, bit of B Road Russia, Sam. We're at it again. You can see it's raining, look. Alexander Ross, good day to you, sir. Is it warm enough to swim at the local beach yet? How's the beach recovering after the oil slick? I did a little video from there the other night for someone, because I was talking to somebody from St. Petersburg, and they basically were saying their understanding was that the beach at Napa was destroyed, written off for years. And that's not true. So I did a video from there the other night, and yeah, perfectly fine. I saw one sign that says don't swim, but much like an MOT for a car, it was accurate at time of placement, like an MOT is accurate at time of test. Now, is it the fact that there was 50 signs there and they've taken them all down and just missed one? I don't know. That's the trouble with a sign, isn't it? But the beach looked clean, the water looked clean. There was plenty of marine life. There was fishes, jellyfish, birds, seagulls, dolphins are back. So, you know, algae, you've got to say that the water must be clean, because you wouldn't get dolphins in dirty water. Oh, wait here. Oh, God. I'm going to stand under this tree then. And I'm hoping for that bit of blue sky. That's what I'm hoping for. Or that. Very, very, I don't want to say Soviet era, but very, very old school use of tyres. Used to use them a lot. So rather than bury them in landfill, they use them for plant pots, or they make stuff out of them. Quite often see swans made out of tyres, people's garden. But temperature-wise for the sea, sorry, I didn't answer the question. Is it warm enough? Oh, look, cherry. Oh, God. I'm like Homer Simpson, aren't I? Oh, donuts. No, cherries. As soon as I see cherries, oh. No, is it warm enough? Well, our pool is about 20 degrees at the moment. 20.4 degrees it was this morning. So that's usually in line with what the sea is. Because it's heated by the same method. That big yellow thing in the sky. So, yeah, I'd say it's 20 degrees. So, to give you an idea, that is the English Channel in the middle of summer. So if you go swimming in the UK, in the English Channel, you could go swimming in the sea here now. I think the Azov is colder, I think. The Azov Sea. It's about an hour and a half away from us. Hour and 20 minutes, something like that. Sprig of broom. Tree is Derova in Russian. Derova? O on the end of a word is quite often pronounced as ah. So it's like, I remember, if you ever watch any MMA and you have a lady that was pretty dominant, I think it's fair to say, Valentina Shevchenko, they used to say all the time, and it's Shevchenka. What's tree in Russian?
Дерево.
Dereva. I was near. Good thing about Russian is if there's a letter in the word, you say it. They don't have silent letters. Bad thing is, they like to use a lot of them. There we go. Guttering, Russian style-y. Alexander Osterova. Dub. Bereza. Depending on... Yeah, okay. What's Bereza? Bereza?
Береза
Yeah, Bereza.
is
That's what I said.
birch.
Birch tree. Chris Evans, hi from New Zealand. Hello, mate. How you doing? Oh, come on, blue skies. Can we go that way?
Till next coat and then that way.
Oh. Yeah, look, blue skies and us idiots and thunder. Listen, yeah, more use of tyres, look, and me didn't. Can you hear the thunder? I am not keen on. That's thunder, honey. Don't know if you heard. So I made a comment earlier today, I think in my Telegram channel, somebody was, commenting on the current situation and whether it's safe. And I said, I don't live in fear. I've got more chance of being struck by lightning. Anyhow, moving on. That wasn't the smartest thing I said, was it? Anyhow, new houses there next to an old one. New one there, or newish. We've got this very, very old. And then we've got some new ones. Built by the same builder, because they're all the same, he says. No, that end one's not the same. Even when they're the same, they're not the same. Sprig of broom. Lisvenitsa. What's Lisvenitsa? Don't know. Closest I have to that is Isvenitsa. Isvenitsa. She's excuse me, I think. Mummy, I want me mum. I've got to go towards the lightning, yeah. Yep. To the car. Yep, safest place to be in a lightning storm. Apparently. I don't plan on testing the theory. Tell you one thing, when you have a thunderstorm out here, it's not like a bit of thunder and then 10 minutes later another bit. It tends to be, not always, but tends to be like pretty dramatic. Don't think it's going to be today. 10 minutes time, standing, getting struck by lightning, soaking wet. But no, I don't think it's going to be today. But certainly we've seen some amazing thunderstorms from our terrace at home. And lightning all across the hills has been absolutely stunning. Another one for sale, look. New build. Right. How far do we have to go to get groceries? Well, these people, I don't know where I am, so I don't know, but for us, blimey, there's a shop at the top of the road. Yeah, no real distance at all. Really depends, but for us, no real distance. More cherries, look. Cherries, more cherries. Look, I'm walking towards blue sky and it's raining heavier. It's not cricket, is it? Oh, look at that for a carport. That's a proper job. I'm getting wetter. Hey, dog. Well, I think I'm going under some trees. I'm going to sit this out because that thunder's getting louder. I'm getting wetter. Which way's the village? That way or this way? This way? Can't get a straight answer, can I? Well, I think that I'm getting wet, honey. Hmm. Yeah. Back to the important stuff. Chris, I hate fake. Yeah, amen, brother. Tricky to find sincere in the West. It is now. It is now. John Sims, where is this? This is a little village called Veronikovskaya, about 40 kilometres inland on the coast of the Black Sea. Please don't colonise Russia. No chance. I'm only on my own. It's a big country. Old habits die hard. Well, it's not my old habits, so you've got no worries with me, sweetie. Lucas, morning. Where are we? As I said, mate, Veronikovskaya. Probably a bit behind with the chat. Sorry, guys. Hi, friend. Greetings from Indonesia. Thank you, Christopher. Cloudless blue skies here in Wales today. Get out of it. Looks like we nicked your usual... Yeah, we've done a swap, haven't we? How's that happened? It's definitely raining now. They do have... Yeah. Yeah, but that's a softening sound and a hardening sound. It's not really what I would call a silent letter. Yeah. English is full of silent letters. Try and pad the language out a bit. Ivan, I have a Dutch friend who visited Russia twice. He loves our family very much, but that was many years ago. Now on his Facebook page he posts terrible posts about what an aggressive country Russia is. He doesn't seem to understand what's going on in the world. This is true of most people, Ivan, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an idea of ignorance. This is pure ignorance. I was friends with a guy in the UK called Malcolm. I'm going to name him because this is how ignorant he is. And Malcolm and his wife spent many a time with, even went round to their house for dinner a few times. We went away for weekends. Yeah, I considered the guy a friend. And without even having a conversation with me, once he learnt that I was moving to Russia, he literally deleted me and never spoke to me again. Now, first and foremost, Malcolm Faber, first and foremost, thank you, because it's a wonderful thing to find out what people are really like. And if they're that ignorant, then I literally lost nothing with that relationship. Literally nothing. But that shows the level of ignorance of some people. Their absolute vitriol hatred for a country they've never visited, they know nothing about. It's purely down to media, but that's the power of media. But those people are of no value. They're not worth having in your life. They bring nothing to your life, only fakeness. So it isn't a loss. And certainly deciding to move to Russia and delete people like that from my life has been one of the best things I've done. It's been very therapeutic, very cleansing to get that kind of toxic person out of your life. It's wonderful. And yeah, he didn't speak to me, but I didn't try and pursue that. There's a reason for that. So yeah, I get it, Ivan. You know, people are, unfortunately, a lot of them driven by media, and it's only people like you guys that actually come onto things like my stream, my channel, that are awake or are awakening and asking the questions and going, hang on a minute, we've been fed this stuff for years now, and everything that we've been fed as a headline has turned out to be untrue. So what's really going on? And that's lovely. It's nice, and that's the purpose of my channel. It's not to try and rewrite history or to change people's minds. My channel is here solely for information. It is me turning the camera on and showing you the warts and all. Answering a question as honestly and as truthfully as I can, from my perspective. But that's all it is. It's just my perspective. It's just my opinion. Oh, castle there, look. You might hear that announcement in the distance. Now, that's usually a guy or guys driving around picking up your scrap. If you've got any scrap metal or something, that's usually what that is. Oh, carport under construction, but the rain has stopped play. Oh, there's some dogs in there. Another bench. And that is what you call a chain link fence. Look at that monster. It's come straight from Novorossiysk, I reckon. There's a ship floating around somewhere. We're missing an anchor chain. Shh, dog. Shush, dog. Are they picking up scrap, honey? Yes. So we've got the local scrap man.
Жестянки, банки, ведра, холодильники, газовые печи, стиральные машины, аккумуляторы.
Picking up your old bits of rubbish, old metal. Oh, we're back on the main road. Right. I'll meet you at the car. I'm off. Can't be doing with women directions anymore. I'm off. Striding out. Make sure I don't get run over. Another bench, look. See? Russians like a bench. Ivan, and he doesn't seem to understand what's going on in the world at all. I guess this kind of narrative will be very relatable. Yeah, it is, unfortunately, Ivan. But more and more people are waking up. More and more people are looking at channels like mine and asking questions. We still get people that can't be helped. There are people that can't be helped. There are people that just have lost all ability of critical thought and just, what the news says is 100% true, and that's it. And you can't, there's no point in even giving them facts. They're not interested. They've got their world that they live in, and they're scared to come out of it. They're scared to do some research and question what they're being told as fact, because then the world falls down, and they're scared of that. But as I say, there's more and more and more people every day waking up to the nonsense, slowly but surely. Alexander, good live stream. Thanks, Chris. Hope you're going well. Always blue skies ahead in Russia, mate. Winter ahead for brainwashed Russophobes in the West. Yeah, ain't it? So the sky's got blacker, but the rain has stopped. Russia, baby. That's nice. I like the little brickwork detail. And it's followed onto the garage. Big garage as well. I like big garages. I don't know why. Do like a garage though. Vorvastul. I'm in southern Russia. About 60 miles from Crimea at the moment. Pugski, nice day in Russia. Today it's wet. Yeah. Raining today. Well, it's not normally. We have about 300 days a year of sunshine. Today ain't one of them. It is over there. It's just not here. Anyhow. Oh, 0 to hero. Steptoes alive and well in a rush. Harold! You dirty old man. I remember that. Yeah, suka bliat to you too, mate. You're as much use as an ashtray on a motorbike. Pizdits. All I've got to say to you, you muppet. So you're going to go just purely because you're rude. So, dos vidania. Furby, pancakes. Pancakes? Pancakes? Donuts? Pancakes. What's the pancake? No, I'm going to get shawarma, actually. You've made me hungry. Why do it? As soon as somebody says food, I'm hungry. You bugger. Oh, look. Slow coaches are bringing up the rear. I'm off. I'm heading for my heated seat and heated steering wheel. What's this thing? Anyone know? Got plenty of fruit on it, whatever it's going to be. Cherries, more cherries. Daniel Loma, so I can see clearly how your crane has gone. Okay, mate. Never know with something like that whether, yeah. Never know what point you're trying to make, mate. Be a bit more descriptive if you can. Furby, they may be slow, but you're on their time. I've got the keys to the car, my friend, and I know where I am. So I am no longer on anybody's time except mine. And mine says this way, chop chop, two things, food and car. House under construction, looks like it's been under construction for a long time. So it's probably ripe for buying, but it'll be cheap, a little bit of land around it, put a fence up, be nice, but on the main road. I love all of the decorative stuff that they have around the windows and on the corners of the buildings. It's lovely. You can see we're out of the back streets of the village now. We're onto the more main road part, tarmac roads, etc. As we head down towards town. Now, one thing people say to me sometimes is when I walk past Russians, oh, nobody ever speaks, nobody says anything, nobody says hello. And that's true. And let me compare it with Germany, because that's a better comparison. In Germany, last time I was there was probably 40 years ago. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What am I on about? No. But in Germany, in rural village, I digress, people will walk past you and it would always be Tag, guten Tag. You know, they'd always say hello. And when I first went to Germany 40 odd years ago, that really threw me because people in England didn't do that. Certainly where I came from anyway. So I was like, and it was everybody, every single person would say hello. And coming to Russia, that doesn't happen. Now, your immediate impression could be that they're very stoic and they're very guarded and, you know, they don't speak and all of this kind of thing. But the reality is, that's just the culture. They keep themselves to themselves. Buhanka there, look. They don't get involved in other people's business, and walking past a stranger and saying hello when you don't know them is considered weird. Not because they're unfriendly, it's just considered weird. It's just odd. Why would you say hello to a stranger? You know, if you need something, if you're lost, then you wouldn't just say hello. You start a conversation. Is Venetia Pujasta? Ja, angliski. Ja, nie говорю по-русски. I mean, try and have a conversation while they're laughing at you. But yeah, it's just the culture is, you know, you don't walk past a stranger and just say hello. It's just odd. So from the outside, that can be seen a certain way, I guess. But it's completely wrong, because if you stop and talk to Russians, if you ask them for directions or for help in any way, they'll help. You know, they'll talk to you. And I found that 100 times that people, as soon as they find out that I'm English, which, yeah, the first thing they say usually is, wow, you're from England. You know, it's either, why have you come to Russia, or what do you think of Russia? And it's usually the latter. What do you think of our country? It's lovely. Very proud people. There's the statue in Volgograd would demonstrate the motherland calls. They're hanging in with me. Bless them. Furby, they know where you live. This is true. The wife definitely knows where I live. So does our friend. MSA. This is Russia, question mark. Yes, a good example of the English language. Same words, question mark or exclamation mark. Question mark, it's a question. Exclamation mark, it's a statement. And we can even do that verbally, just with the tone of our voice. That's the difference with Russia as well. And the language, we can say, is this Russia? This is Russia. Or we can say, this is Russia. And just with the tone of our voice, we change it from a statement to a question. One of the quirks of the English language. But yes, my friend, this is Russia. What are these? Come on, guys, what are these? Look, growing on the side of the road, look. Perfectly normal. It's freaking hundreds of them, whatever they are. I bet I can eat them. Just not yet. Look at them. I must be able to eat these things. Look at them. This tree is covered in them. They've got to be edible. I refuse to accept that they're not edible. Yum. What's this? What are these? Look at them.
Sliva.
Sliva.
Жардин.
The what?
Plum.
Plums.
Or лечам. Лечам може бути. Ну, жардин.
What's plums? Kind of plums. I can eat them, just not yet.
Yeah.
Good. That's all I need to know. There's cherries next to them. I might do a map of all the places I can eat. Are we getting shawarma? Good. Mungry. Mungry bear, not a good bear. As my wife would say. Mungry bear is a grumpy bear. But yeah, it's a wet and miserable day. Or are we going in the cafe to sit down and warm up? Should we do that? We can have a coffee as well then. Yeah? 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 What? What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, she's a prisoner.
А, да.
She just has to go where we go now.
Да, и мы пойдем в кафе, и это он сколько можно. Я говорю, я не знаю, он... если у нас все равно это в заложниках.
Ah.
Мы не должны.
Ah.
Нет, не он глаза, вы
Huh? Yeah, good. Right. So we shall go to Pushkin's Art Cafe, have a bite to eat and a coffee. I'm a bit soggy. Oh, a Volt. What's that, a hybrid thing? Or electric or something? I don't know. Yuck. Builders merchants. There's quite a large market here actually. It'll probably be rained out today. But it's, yeah, quite a nice market. Lots and lots of produce, lots of food. Food again, see? It's all I can think about is bloody food. But yeah, lots of meat, lots of smoked meats and cooked meats and cheese and fish. They do love a bit of fish. Just not in the same way that I do. They like it with its head on and googly eyes. I'm not so keen on that. I don't want my dinner staring at me. That way? That way. We're going this way. Shortcut. Big old building under construction. Don't know what it's going to be. Find out when it's built, I guess. But roof's going on it. Yeah, it looks a bit bleak around here today. It's cold now. What came out, it was about 20, 21 degrees. Feels like about 12. More vines. Variation on the theme. Carport that's not been used as a carport for a long time by the looks of it. But good amount of vines growing over it. Plenty of grapes that'll be thrown out. Cherries on the brain. Right. Yeah, hangry. Yeah, I do get a bit. I don't get angry, but grumpy, I call it. A bit short. Those plums over the footpath are fair game, I reckon. That's the dessert sort. Yeah, not yet. I've got to come back in a couple of months for them. But that's completely normal out here. I mean, look, cherries. It's just completely normal to walk down down the street and just eat cherries in season and plums. Peaches, not quite so much. But certainly cherries, plums, grapes. Yeah, just grow for fun, and you just walk down the street and have a munch. Linda Burnett, where is this at? Russia, outside of Napa, Russia. Linda, yeah. So little village called Veronikovskaya, about 40 kilometres off of the coast of the Black Sea inland. As Furby says, just outside a seaside resort town called Napa. ANAPA. If you put that in Google Maps, you'll see where we are as we head up towards the village. Another builder's merchant. This lady's clued up, look. Came out with an umbrella. Me? I didn't come out with an umbrella. I came out dressed like this. Shorts and a freaking t-shirt. Listened to the wife, didn't I? Regarding weather forecasting. Big mistake. Standing joke in our house with myself and our daughter. The wife's weather forecasting is questionable. And I made that mistake today. What's the weather like, darling? Oh, it's warm. I suppose she's not lying, it's warm-ish. Raining. Anyhow, I can almost smell the food from the cafe now. So, before my battery dies, I will say dos vidania. Goodbye. Just make sure I've caught up with the chat. Please find Borat there. Yeah. Wrong country, pal. But okay. Don't got to worry about wet hair, true story. Wash my hair